Hey guys, we have a huge emphasis on the planet Mercury in the sky today. Mercury and the Sun are coming into an exact conjunction, also known as CAZIMI. Mercury is retrograde, however, and whenever we have these two planets coming to the exact degree in the sky, it is said to be a period of time where we can gain an enhanced level of clarity or insight into something that maybe we've been misunderstanding or missing some details or facts or context about, considering this is happening in the sign of Virgo. But it's probably something to do with the past, because Mercury is also retrograde. Now, this is also happening in a trine to Jupiter. This is big news. This is something very huge and significant to us on some level, playing a very prominent role in whatever is playing out in our lives right now, this information component of things. And we also have a Gemini moon going on today, both the sun and the moon in signs ruled by Mercury. While Mercury conjuncts the sun, the moon in Gemini is also going to trine Mars and square the sun and Mercury in conjunction. Whatever it is that we're finding out, you guys, whatever is being revealed, whatever illumination we are gaining in this energy, it is likely to sort of be at odds with maybe a previous understanding that we had about something, a previous conception about, how something was playing out or what something actually was, blowing our mind. It could also be creating some anger, and people may just be getting a little bit riled up in the energy today as well. Very high-strung, nervous energy. Want to try to slow down and give ourselves some time to process, what we're hearing, what we're talking about, what might be playing out in the field around us. So all that being said, you guys, let's get into our report of the day. Let's talk about this energy we have coming in some more detail. All the information, of course. What's it going to do for us? What are we looking at today in terms of the vibes, and what are things probably looking like heading through the rest of the week? Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. On this channel, what we are doing is looking at the astrology as it's coming together on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis, seeing what might be pending for us in the moment. However, we are also keeping in mind the fact that we are in a transition of ages right now, moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And while these transits and activations are hitting, they are doing, more than just impacting us in the moment. They're actually creating these subtle, energetic, frequency-based changes to our own energy body that over time is shifting us, humanity, in a way that helps to anchor the new frequencies of the age of Aquarius on the planet. So this is a very important astrological time that we are in right now. There are big energetic activations underway that are creating a lot of changes in our physical environment and in our internal environments to help move us forward in that direction. And so we are keeping that in mind as we talk about how this energy is coming together. Now, another thing, I have done a tarot reading. If you guys want to come with me till the end of the video, that's when I will talk about that for the collective energy right now as well. I just like to sort of tap the energy field from more than one modality whenever I'm analyzing what's going on a day-to-day basis, just to get the most comprehensive energetic outlook possible. So there might be some messages in there for you. If you want to stick around until the end of the video, we're also going to do that. But I feel like that was a very long intro. Let's get into the astrology now. But honestly, I'm not really surprised about that, because my whole theme and everything I'm talking about today is just the massive influx and emphasis on information. So I'm not really surprised that I was just very, very chatty about everything about my channel and all of that. Lots of words are probably going on today, you guys. There could be a lot of long-winded speeches or just conversations, things coming out of people's mouths, information, what we're thinking about, what we're talking about, what we're learning, facts, details, context, the past coming back in very bizarre and strange and revealing ways as well. This is sort of just all over the energetic blueprint of the day, and this is what we're going to be talking about. So just don't be surprised if there seems to be a very strong emphasis on communication and just what we're learning, what we're talking about, what we're thinking, what we're trying to convey. Also, our understandings about things as well. People could really be there could be debates going on. People could be having arguments and stuff as well. I will say this day does kind of start off a little bit hot. There could be some sort of anger bugs out there. People may be looking to blow off some steam, get something off of their chest. We do start this day with the moon in Gemini forming a trine to Mars, currently in the sign of Libra. So there could also be like fights or conflicts in relationships going on. But I'm gonna tell you guys, everything in the energy today comes back to whatever is happening with this Sun Mercury conjunction that we're talking about, because this is really like the big everything. We've got both the sun and the moon in signs ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the messenger planet. Thoughts, ideas, communication, what we're learning, what we're talking about, the conversations that we're having. Mercury is also retrograde though. So on one hand, this is putting an extremely prominent all the arrows, okay, are pointing to Mercury retrograde. So this is the past. This is what we're rethinking. This is what we're reevaluating. This is, things that have happened that need a second look, that need a different context, that need some additional consideration. This is reviewing things, okay? With the sun, right? It's known, it's like a well-known thing in astrology. When Mercury and the sun come into their exact alignments, which is known as a CAZIMI, Mercury-Sun CAZIMI, this is when it is said that we are able to gain some missing information, some additional insight, to get some clarity about something that maybe had been eluding us, or maybe we had just been unable to like fully get a grasp on. Because another thing, it's also said that when Mercury is within about 10 degrees of the sun on either side, preparing or moving away from a conjunction, this is called Mercury combust, okay? And Mercury is said to be burned in the rays of the sun. And while we have this energy going on, it is said that we are sort of like missing a vital piece of context or a vital piece of information, or an aspect of our understanding is somehow lacking in some type of a way when Mercury is combust. And again, that is as Mercury is coming into conjunction with the sun and Mercury is leaving conjunction with the sun, and within a close enough degree proximity that we can't see Mercury, that Mercury is engulfed in the rays of the sun. So the mind is in some ways like something is hidden, okay? But for the CAZIMI, when they come to the exact, to the moment alignment together, this is when we are able to see what has been missing. This is when we are able to gain the understanding or the clarity. And remember, if you guys caught my Monday video, that was all about big, important, significant information that was going on this week, revelations as well. On Monday, we had Mercury retrograde and exact trine to Jupiter as Jupiter stationed retrograde in the sky. This is gaining some, again, type of massive insight about something from the past that we've been reviewing, or with Jupiter also stationed retrograde, ruling truth. Jupiter's also the seeker, trying to gain wisdom, trying to gain perspective. This was like a very facilitated opportunity for some type of understanding or clarity to come to us, despite the fact that Mercury was in the combust position. But now as we move into the energy of today on Wednesday, we are having our moment in time where we are gaining the insight, where we are gaining the clarity, and this is still happening in a trine to Jupiter. Jupiter right now is at 16 degrees of the sign of Taurus. This conjunction is happening at 14 degrees of the sign of Virgo. So this is a very close 2-degree orb trine in earth signs between Mercury and the sun and Jupiter. I'm telling you guys, small scale or large scale, this is probably hitting on a very large scale macrocosm level as well. If you're into current events or, what's going on in the world, I would keep an eye on, the public conversation today and, the news and just what's going on, because there's likely to be some type of really big, heavy hitting, significant news, information, revelations, secrets revealed, things from the past that appeared one way but were actually a different way the whole entire time. This is also more that energy that I've been talking about, where it's like everything that you thought was true, you find out was false, and everything that you thought could never possibly happen, like way too far outside the realm of possibility, reality actually happens to be way closer to the truth than you ever could have imagined. This is some of the energy that is doing that type of thing as well. So we are in some times of some very big and broad and expansive stuff that is trying to begin and broaden and expand our horizons and our understandings of things, and to show us a level of truth and give us a level of wisdom and clarity and perspective that perhaps we had been lacking or had been unaware of even existed up until this point in time. And that's another aspect of this energy that's playing out today. Like I said, we also synchronistically enough happen to have a Gemini moon playing out that will be transiting the very degrees of Gemini that would form the exact square to the 14 degrees of Virgo, where the moon is as well. And so we're talking about, or the, not the moon, where the Sun Mercury conjunction is. Virgo, ruled by Mercury, the moon in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. So, you know, inherently, if we're going to have any, you know, whenever we have a Virgo Sun Gemini moon in square, okay, the sun and the moon, the two luminaries, you know, some of the most significant and powerful planets in terms of the energy that's coming through, the vibes that are coming through, both in signs ruled by Mercury and in a harsh aspect to each other. What Mercury is doing is going to be very, very important in understanding, you know, the nature of that tension between the sun and the moon that is arising. And with Mercury in the exact CAZIMI to the sun for that square, this to me, like, it honestly feels like, okay, like, let's break it down, all right? Like, let's parse this out. We're talking about Virgo. Facts, details, information, okay? Like things being streamlined, things being organized, but it's all about like the context and, you know, the fine-tooth comb and making sure that things are like done right. With the sun in Virgo there, like we are looking for, you know, the details, the context, dotting I's and crossing T's, going through things with a fine-tooth comb. It's like we're figuring out additional information. And remember, the sun and Mercury in their CAZIMI, this is insight, this is illumination, this is awareness about something that we hadn't been understanding, that had been eluding us, that had been missing context. And with Mercury retrograde, it's going to be from the past. Now let's talk about the Gemini influence, okay? The moon, this is our emotions, this is our feelings, okay? And whenever we have a Gemini moon going on, this is a very communicative time of like the month, okay? People are, there's an emotional attachment because of the moon in Gemini to our thoughts, to our communication. Like it's very important emotionally to be able to verbalize our feelings about stuff. And with this square going on, it's like something, you know, what we believed in the past, maybe on one level, like things that we had thought to have been true, coming to find like additional information or additional context or seeing things in a different light, gaining clarity, secrets revealed, somebody telling us something, a message coming through, something like gaining some type of awareness, hitting on this bigger level. And it's whatever it is, it's like because of the square going on, it's at odds with what we had been understanding before. So it's like this new information or whatever we're finding out changes our perception of the reality that we had been operating in previously. You know what I mean? So it's like I thought one thing was happening and I've been operating and living as though this one thing has happened. However, now I'm gaining this insight that like something else perhaps has actually been happening while I thought this other thing was happening, and creating this maybe like internalized conflict that people are really going to be verbalizing. This is a lot of conversations about the past. Again, all these retrograde planets, and Jupiter is in trine as well. Again, this is very big. It's just this expansive energy of finding things out that we didn't understand or we're gaining this illumination about in such a way that, you know, creates a disruption to our mind. Very nervous tension energy, high anxiety as well. This is a very fast-paced energy. There could be just sort of like this generalized frustration or tension that we're kind of feeling internally today about whatever it is that's coming out or about whatever it is that we're finding or discovering. And like I said, we start the day as well with the moon in Gemini forming the trine to Mars in the sign of Libra. Libra is another air sign. Again, thoughts, ideas, communication, what we're talking about. Libra is like the most social and chatty sign. And with Mars there, okay, Libra is also relationships. There could definitely be conflicts in relationships coming from whenever is being revealed to us in this energy as well. fights, debates, arguments also over the information. Gemini also rules like polarities and oppositions and stuff. There could be sort of like oppositional ideas that are kind of coming to a head in a way that creates sort of like a lot of cognitive dissonance also, and projection and stuff like that could be very strong in the field today. Like people not being able to accept the facts or the context or the information that they are learning right now because of how disruptive it is to their like previous conception of things. This could be, I mean, it is more of this paradigm cracking energy as well. And I've been saying, you guys, as we move more through this year, more through this fall, into 2024, into 2025, things are really going to begin to start to change. The old ways of viewing and understanding reality are going to begin to split apart and crack, okay? Like the history, like the science, like the narrative of reality that the Matrix essentially has been projecting over the past extensive period of time is going to start falling away, and we're going to start seeing like the truth and the realities of things emerge through those cracks and begin to be more and more prominent and tangible in our reality, okay? Again, this is like the reality is about to, in a lot of ways, become stranger than like fantasy or stranger than fiction. And what we thought to be true about a lot of things in a lot of cases, we are going to come to discover was always a false narrative, was always an illusion, was never the actual genuine truth of things. And this is gonna hit again like on so many different levels, and it's just a part of the process of essentially like the consciousness of humanity in a lot of ways evolving and coming back online. You know, this is known as the Great Awakening. We are in a transition of ages right now, which is one of the major themes of this channel, of course, and the way that these activate what is being revealed to us right now, okay? We're in like the great revealing segment of the Great Awakening. So what is revealed to us right now is going to hit in such a way that we have essentially like no chance or no option other than to adapt to it essentially and just accept that things have not been as they seemed for a very long period of time. So we're moving in that direction, and what is happening, what is transpiring, and again, you know, it's happening on microcosm levels and it's happening on macrocosm levels. It's happening for all of us in some way, in some aspect or dimension of our lives. You know, it could even be this, like, it could even be so small as to us just having maybe like a light bulb moment about like a better way to take care of ourselves. This is also the sign of Virgo. Okay, so we're talking about health, lifestyle, well-being. We're talking about our habits, our routines, diet, nutrition, what we're doing on a day-to-day basis and how it is affecting our body and how it is affecting our health. It also has to do with education and research and, you know, getting to the bottom of things, fine-tooth comb, like I said before. So it could, you know, it could be happening on such a small scale as us just having, like I said, a light bulb moment, maybe about something that we can do to take better care of ourselves, or maybe some supplement that we could take that could help us like stay healthier, or maybe some type of exercise we find that we're very interested in, or maybe some type of like alternative medicine treatment or something, you know, we realize is something that we could benefit from. And, you know, we follow through on that, and there are some positive impacts like to our lives, our health, or, you know, our well-being as a result of whatever clarity, even on the smallest scale like that we gained in this energy, or on the largest scale, you know, it could literally be like uncovering rings of corruption that have been going on in some type of way that makes like huge headlines and causes like significant like awakening to things that have been going on behind the scenes that we've been unaware of, but like now that we're aware, we're paying attention, whereas before we didn't even know there was something to pay attention to because we didn't even know that that aspect of reality was existing. Okay, like stuff like that, like small scales happening for all of us in individual ways to help improve our circumstances or conditions in some way, make us aware of something that is going to benefit us somehow, or on a larger scale, same thing, making us aware of something that in some way is going to benefit us somehow. Remember, we're also in retrograde season. We're also moving through a season of reversals right now, but it's really all about this like great reveal that's going on. And again, could be some heated conversations, verbal conflicts going on along with it to start the day. People feeling that urge to get something off of their chest, let somebody have it, angry words, conversations, fights, conflicts, but it's probably going to be about what we figured out, what we learned, what we heard that maybe was at odds with what we had been understanding previously or what someone had told us in the past. Okay, Mars in the sign also of Libra, like this is a disturbing the peace type of energy. Libra, of course, is the sign of peace and harmony and balance and like positive social relations and social graces and, you know, maintaining images and everything being beautiful and harmonious. But Mars is a planet of war and battle and self-assertion, okay? And when we have Mars in the sign of Libra, this, number one, can create a lot of conflicts in relationships, primarily romantic relationships, but even friendships, all that, like any type of social relationships generally, and it can just have a tendency of disturbing the peace. So with the moon in Gemini forming the trine and to Mars and Libra, and also the square to the sun and Mercury in their conjunction, something about whatever we're gaining illumination to is upsetting the status quo, is disturbing the peace in some way, could be creating conflicts in relationships that previously had been like more harmonious, but whatever, you know, information we're gaining access to, like they can no longer continue to go on like that. Mercury retrograde energy, also, like I said, super emphasized today with the Jupiter trine and with the sun in conjunction. Don't expect plans, schedules, agendas to go according to plan. Kind of try to be adaptable if possible, because there is something important that needs to come to you today, and maybe universe needs to shake things up a little bit in order to get that message through. Also, though, this is disruptions to communication. This is disruptions to like technology and stuff like that. Things may just not be working properly, and there could also be difficult conversations that are going on. Like there could be some hard conversations or hard truths that we need to talk about as well. But whatever it is, okay, like I said, what we're finding out right now is very important because it's like a missing piece of the puzzle to actually help us, you know, if we elevate ourselves in this Mercury Jupiter energy to a higher perspective and allow ourselves to see kind of like the bigger plan that is playing out right now as this cosmic blueprint unfolds, which is moving us into the age of Aquarius. It's, you know, whatever we're finding out right now, if we don't find it out, it's like the missing piece of the puzzle right now that is like preventing us from making some type of necessary change that will help us actually to move forward and develop like our own sense of identity and like our own sense of like self-confidence. And we're going through a year and a half right now that is actually with the North Node transiting the sign of Aries, and I talk about this all the time, bringing us into a personal leadership era. This is an energy where we are all collectively in some way gaining a greater sense of self-mastery, overcoming weaknesses, and learning to trust ourselves more. And we are being called actually on some type of very personalized mission, something that we need to do or accomplish to help ourselves in this process of overcoming our weaknesses and gaining a greater sense of self-mastery as we go through the next year and a half. And it has a lot to do also with helping us to detach ourselves from the relationships that have defined us in the past as we come back into alignment with the truth of our own personal identity more. And these themes of self versus others are likely to be very prominent and very dominant over this next year and a half with the nodes transiting Aries and Libra, the sign of self and the sign of others. And then of course with Mars in the sign of Libra as well with the South Node, this is telling us that we have come to the end of the road in a lot of these relationships that we have previously defined ourselves by that have kept us detached or separated from the truth of our identity, our own personal truth, our own personal purpose, our own personal destiny, okay, that we are being called to activate throughout this period of time as well. And on that greater level, as a part of our transition into the age of Aquarius, this is what we need to do. We need to upgrade. We need to come into a greater sense of self-mastery and do the things that the Aries North Node is calling us towards, because that is actually, you know, a fundamental part of this process. It has, and we've also got Chiron transiting the sign of Aries right now as well. So this is also a hero's journey, okay, that the North Node is bringing us out of states of victimhood into these states of self-mastery. And that is a fundamental component of our energetic shift and transition into the age of Aquarius, which is also an age of self-mastery, self-knowledge, and co-creation with God, Spirit, Universe, detached, okay, from the previous wounding and the traumas that may have defined us in the earlier parts of our lives, where we were more stuck in this Pisces energy, and the Kali Yuga energy, which is losing its grip right now, as well as we begin to receive greater emanations from the galactic center as we move towards the age of Aquarius, and are reactivated actually in a lot of ways energetically. This information, whatever we are finding out in this energy now, playing a significant role in that, as it is leading to us being able to make some changes in relationships that maybe we've been needing to make for a while, in order essentially to free ourselves to activate our destiny that we are being called towards on our personal mission, on our hero's journey at this point in time, while Aries North Node transit is underway. So it's all related, you guys. It's all connected, and this is how this particular chapter of the story is coming together this week. In terms of the symbolism that's playing out, there could definitely also be an emphasis on the family, or on like who is connected to who. Family secrets could be, you know, kind of a significant thing right now. The position, okay, the degree, 14 degrees of Virgo, where Mercury and the Sun are coming to their CAZIMI today. That Sabian symbol is a family tree. So this could definitely be shedding insight into something related to families or relations or connections somehow that is playing a role. So I think it's interesting that that is the position of the exact conjunction today, in the context also of what we know that this energy is doing for us. We've also got the Earth, always in a polar opposition to the Sun at 14 degrees of Pisces. That Sabian symbol is a woman wrapped in fox fur. So this also refers to maybe like deception or trickery, or things that have been hidden, or things that have been maybe like a bit manipulative, or just like not quite as they appear. And with the family tree situation and the Sun Mercury, like there could be some things that have been hidden, some things that have been shady or not exactly straightforward, that we are gaining awareness of today somehow. Family could be involved. We've also got Mars at 77 degrees of Libra today. That Sabian symbol is a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from hawks. This makes me think of defending our loyalties, recognizing what we need to nurture and what we need to oppose or defend against, but definitely being sort of like on guard, ready to fight back against something. Like if we feel like maybe we are under attack in any type of way, or what we care about, or what we're focusing our energy on, or what we are working on or cultivating in some type of way is under attack, we may really feel the urge to stand up for ourselves and fight back today, which again, with the moon trining Mars, is not out of the question. So Mars at that degree, kind of emphasizing that as well. But that's essentially what I've got to say today, you guys. Super strong energetic emphasis on just what we're talking about, what we're thinking about, the news, the information, like what's coming across our desk, the messages. Pay attention to everything today. This is a really good day. You know, also, if you're doing some research about something, this is a great day for like digging for facts, digging for information, getting under the surface of things, trying to learn something. Like if you need a solution, this is also a very solution-oriented energy, especially about like problems or issues from the past that maybe have been plaguing us. This is a good day to look for solutions, because you'll probably gain some good awareness about something as well. So that's basically what I have to say, you guys, today about the astrology. Let's talk about the tarot cards for a minute. if you've been feeling like everything is working against you, okay, if you've been feeling like you can't catch a break, if you've been feeling like, you know, everything that you try to do is facing like some type of massive resistance or massive backlash, the advice from universe today is to essentially just like not give up and to keep trying, to keep pushing forward, and to realize that we are in a process of reversals right now and that the tides are actually going to turn in your favor. Do not attach to any feelings of lack, and do not feel like you need to sort of like go to war over something, even though there could be a strong emphasis or urge in this energy to let somebody have it, or to, you know, stand up for yourself or really assert yourself some way about something, or to make something happen. The way that the tarot cards are coming out are kind of saying that like God is at the wheel today, you guys. Like, universe is taking the reins. And again, like, despite appearances, we don't want to think that just because we don't see it in front of our eyes right now, that we don't have it, that we're lacking it, that we don't have the ability to gain it, and that there's something that we need to fight against, or that there's some war that we need to wage in order to make it happen. The three cards that we have coming out today are the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. We've got 2 5 cards. 5 is a number of dynamic change, okay? 2 5 cards, this is 10, this is a number of manifestation. The changes right now are going to lead to some type of manifestation that is a reversal of, you know, like I've been saying, we're heading towards a season of reversals. If you feel like you've been down on your luck, if you feel like things have not been working in your favor, again, this is saying to me, with the Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse, do not attach to feelings of lack or things not going your way, or being shut out, or being shunned, or feeling like you don't fit in, or feeling like you'll never have what you want. And again, like the universe is against you or something. Like, do not feel like that in this energy. Do not attach to it. And similarly with the Five of Wands, this is a card of, you know, conflict and battles and fights and contention and being at odds with people and stuff. This is also similarly saying, you know, to drop the weapons, essentially. Like, we don't need to go to war about it. Like, we don't need, in this specific energy of this week, you know, waging war, or, you know, really trying to take what's ours, or fighting over something. Like, we're being guided to not go in that direction, not put our energy not to use our energy that way, because we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse as well. Like, this is talking about changes and reversals in the way that things have been going. And this is also the Wheel of Fortune, this major arcana. You know, this is a divine intervention, okay? Or again, like the hand of God, like taking the wheel and steering things forward, and things not necessarily being as they appear right now. So we are not attaching to appearances in this energy. We are not necessarily, you know, fighting to get what we perceive ourselves as not to have, but rather we need to trust that we are actually in the process of gaining all that we feel that we lack right now. And energetically, really the best thing that we can do is act our faith in terms of acting along the lines, or acting in alignment with, you know, how we would be acting if we already had what it is that we're seeking, instead of attaching to any feelings of lack and acting as though, you know, we're never going to get what it is that we want, I feel like is this message that is coming through today. On the back of the deck, we have the Four of Swords in reverse. This to me is talking about kind of like not being able to rest, not being able to relax, this nervous tension, feeling like there's something that needs to be done. Okay, again, feeling like maybe there's something that we need to go after, something that we need to go get, something that we need to go to war about. But again, like, to me, this is saying, you know, hands off the wheel, universe is taking it, things are going to change, and it's not on us to force it to happen in this energy right now. So that's how I'm reading the tarot that came out for us today. Let's grab a synchronicity card now and see what additional advice we can gain from the powers above. God, Spirit, Universe, what do we need to know? What else do we need to know? What's going to help us out? What should we keep in mind in this super Mercury energy? You are protected. things are not as they seem, you guys. Again, like Mercury retrograde, it really just makes me feel like we are coming to discover that what we've thought to be true, or what we've been perceiving, or what we've been attached to in terms of our understandings and our viewpoints is just not what we thought. Okay, you are protected, for he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Psalms 91:11. Know your guardian angel is with you always, protecting you from harm. Be assured he keeps you safe when fear overwhelms you. Read the 91st Psalm in its entirety and rest in the assurance you are protected. So again, like, you know, whatever news or information, it could be unsettling, again, it could be disturbing the peace, but we need to keep in mind, you know, we've got the Wheel of Fortune coming out, we've got the card that you are protected. We don't need to fight back against perhaps what seems to be playing out in this energy. We are in a period of corrections right now. We're in a period of reversals right now. And we're also in a very, very strong Uranus season, and divine intervention is underway, and we are protected through this process despite how things may seem on the surface. So that's what I'm going to say today, you guys. Message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys, share it with your friends if you think that they would like this type of astrology information as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I really value your perspectives and knowing what is going on with you, or if you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. Also, if you want to know what's on these whiteboards, I have them in I post them in my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group, a Facebook page, and an Instagram. Those are also linked in my description box below. Come back with me on Friday, you guys. We're going to have a weekend report to talk about, more energy coming at us. We have the sun moving into a trine with Jupiter. If you guys watched my September report, I was talking about how the first week of September, it is really all about this massive information and this insight shining the spotlight into things that perhaps we haven't seen before, and we are just getting more of this as we head through the weekend and the sun comes into a trine with Jupiter. So I'll be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful day, and until next time, bye.